is the virtual presentation of the Kona Tract maps for round 2 of the Beneficiary Consultation series for the update to the Hawai'i Island Plan. Diving straight into it, these are land use designations. This first slide shows all of the homestead uses. These are land use designations that produce 99-year homesteads. Yellow, residential, pulls from the residential waitlist. Light green, subsistence agriculture, small lot agriculture, up to 3 acres, pulls from the agricultural waitlist. Supplemental agriculture, large lot agriculture, up to 40 acres, pulls from the agricultural waitlist. Pastoral, large lot agriculture, typically for pastoral or livestock raising purposes, pulls from the pastoral waitlist. DHHL Kuleana, a new land use designation captured in the 2022 update to the general plan. These are raw, without infrastructure lots intended for off-grid subsistence lifestyles, allow for more choices as to how lessees wish to develop their lots. Lessees must participate in the maintenance of the right-of-way to the Kuleana Homestead Tract, so doesn't have the same type of infrastructure that is required for the rest of the other 4 homesteading uses, those land use designations. 2 examples of DHHL Kuleana. The first one was Kahiki Nui on Maui. So that was designated. It's a steep area, difficult to access, and folks said that they wanted it in the settlement plan in EA. Folks said they wanted it to be DHHL Kuleana and that it should be pastoral lots that pull from the pastoral waitlist. So it's raw, without infrastructure lots that pull from the pastoral waitlist. Another example of DHHL Kuleana is the planning for Keaukaha Tract 2 or King's Landing. The homestead lots that are there are DHHL Kuleana lots, again raw, without infrastructure. However, in the King's Landing settlement plan in EA, they're still discussing which waitlist they would pull from. It will likely be a mix of residential, agricultural, and pastoral for those. So beneficiaries get say on which waitlist DHHL Kuleana lots pull from. Next set here is non-homestead uses. The 2 at the top, community use and community agriculture, are meant to serve the homesteads. These are common areas. Community use in that blue is like things that are parks and recreation, gathering spaces, community centers. Those would be on the community use parcels. This light pink, community agriculture, is one of the newer land use designations with the 2022 update to the general plan. This is meant to support the other homesteads. So the types of usage you would see on community agriculture are like community gardens, pairing lands that have community agriculture near residential homestead developments allows those homesteaders to have additional space for agricultural needs. Pairing it with areas where there are pastoral homesteads might allow folks to have things like a equestrian or arena area. They could also have a processing place for harvesting livestock and processing cattle, or even a space that's appropriate for loading them into containers and shipping them. The next 2, red and purple, commercial and industrial, these are revenue generating parcels. These are managed by DHHL's Land Management Division. These are what get revenue through annual leases, and that goes directly to the DHHL Trust. The next 2, renewable energy in light blue and stewardship. These are newer land use designations included with the 2022 update to the general plan. Renewable energy is exactly what it says. Area that's suitable for different types of renewable energy. Stewardship in brown is replacing a previous category that was called general agriculture. That category was very misleading because most folks would think that it would be producing agricultural homestead lots and creating 99-year homesteads. However, it was not doing that. So the title is changed from general agriculture to stewardship. The last 2, conservation and special district, these are areas that are more sensitive areas that require special attention. Conservation, typically environmentally sensitive areas, though these can also be lands that generate revenue. For instance, in Humu'ula, there's a large portion of sustainable koa that could be used for sustainable koa, large area of koa forestry that could be used for sustainable koa forestry, harvesting koa wood sustainably for revenue generation. So conservation doesn't mean that it's not valuable. It is very valuable both for its environmental sensitivity as well as its potential for revenue generation. The last one there in dark blue is special district. Again, sensitive areas, typically areas that are in hazard spaces like tsunami evac zones or flood prone areas, can also be retention spaces for stormwater, flooding, can also be areas that have a lot of cultural resources like Kalai at the tip of South Point. Now, the next section, we're going to go through all the tract maps, and this is where we want your feedback. Okay, so we're going to be covering these concept maps. I'm going to show you 3 maps for each tract. The reason why I'm doing that is because I want you folks to see the first map is the 2022, or in this case for Kona, the 2009 West Hawai'i Amendment to the Hawai'i Island Plan, because in 2002, DHHL's lands in Kona were not a part of DHHL's land inventory. They were added on later, and subsequently the department did a West Hawai'i Amendment to the Hawai'i Island Plan. That was in 2009. So the first map I'm going to show you is from that 2009 amendment. The second map that I'm going to show you is what we brought out to folks in the first round of beneficiary consultation in August of 2024. And this third one is going to be the most updated map based on the feedback that we got during that first round of beneficiary consultation. Okay, Keahuolu, sorry, in the upper corner it says 2002 plan, but the land use designations where it says 2009 island plan, that is the correct time frame. So Keahuolu, this is an area that's off Palani Road. You can see the existing Kealakehe homesteads as well as the Kealakehe High School is over there. And this is a large section off Palani Road, about 150 acres that was previously identified for residential. Now, when we came back out in August, we said, hey, there's a little section there along Palani Road. Do we want to have that all 150 acres as residential, or do we want to look at potentially using part of that for commercial since it is off of Palani Road? We got a lot of feedback and they said not commercial, but yes to community use. Want to have community space there. That 2 acres could be a park, could be whatever the homestead needs. If you folks have comments on the placement of this community space, the size of the community space, it's open for adjustment, so please let us know what you'd like to see there. In the 2009 West Hawai'i Amendment, there's this acreage, 200 acres down Honokohau. It's in between the wastewater treatment plant and the harbor, and was identified for commercial use. So when it came out in round 1 back in August, it's striped in multiple different things. So it could be commercial, it could be industrial, it could be renewable energy. We asked folks, what would you like to see there? And overwhelmingly, folks said, leave it in commercial. Now, if there's other mana'o, we would like to hear it. If you folks would like to have mixed uses there, please let us know. This area is not the best for homesteading because of its location in between the harbor, the wastewater treatment plant, as well as right along Queen Kahumanu Highway. But if you folks would like to see mixed uses at Honokohau, please share that with us. Kealakehe, I'm going to kind of skip over this one since it was, there's not a lot of good information that's captured here. Let's just jump to the next slide. Round 1. We tried to base this off of the 2009 West Hawai'i Amendment. So you can see there's several commercial spaces, the ones that are kind of closer to Queen Kahumanu Highway. And then you can see that open space right in the middle of all DHHL's lands there. Mauka of Ane Kehokalole. That's where Kealakehe High School is located. The dark green are conservation areas. Those are the preserves, alpaca preserves, uhi preserves, etc. There are a lot of very, very special endangered, indigenous, and endemic plants that are found in this area. And that's why we have the preserves. It's an agreement with U.S. Fish and Wildlife that we are able to construct our homestead so long as we are malamaing spaces for our native plants that occur naturally in this area. The yellow area is all identified for residential homesteading. The hatched areas are the areas that are already given out in 99-year homesteads. That blue 28-acre parcel, that's where the health center and L2020 is located. That 5-acre area right in the center of the yellow space is that open park space. And then there's more commercial areas that are identified. Now, we did get a mix of comments. We found that there's some parcels that were missing. That 21-acre parcel should have been included. That is a part of DHHL's land holdings in that area. You can also see that the 21-acre parcel and the 6-acre parcel are actually in brown, in stewardship. The reason why it's in stewardship is because those areas can be used for residential homesteading in the future. Currently, that 6-acre parcel is under preserve, so it's under conservation, but the hope is long-term for parts of that area to be included in our homesteading. So that is for residential homesteading. Otherwise, there are not changes, significant changes to this map. If you folks have comments, please let us know. Okay, Kalawa. Kalawa, there are multiple spaces, again, not 2002, this is for the 2009 West Hawai'i Amendment. There's the yellow area is residential, the red area is commercial, the light green is general agriculture, the purple is industrial. When we came out the first time around, August of 2024, there's still one section over there that is under residential homesteading. However, that upper section that is actually across from the entrance to the airport, and there's a power station over there. And so because of its proximity to both the airport and Queen Kahumanu Highway and that power station, it's really not a good location for homesteads, and for that reason it's been changed into a commercial use. Now, we didn't get a lot of for the striped area, that's about 200 acres, and we asked folks, do we want to see that in industrial? Do we want to see that in renewable energy? Previously, there was a section under general agriculture, but again, that's misleading. Yeah, general agriculture was done away with as a category, and about 100 acres. The 100 acres, that's the southern 100 acres, is currently under a right of entry for a solar project, Nexamp solar project. Okay, so this was first round. We got a lot of comments from this. We didn't get a lot of folks who wanted to see the renewable energy category utilized in this space. In general, we got a couple comments, and folks said they were fine with industrial being used over there, that it shouldn't be in stewardship or conservation because it's not really usable for that type of use. It's in that industrial area where there's industrial lots, so folks felt like industrial was suitable. Folks were supportive of the commercial space that's up there. They said that they do not want to see homesteading there, and so nobody really commented on whether or not commercial is best for all of it. If you'd like to see other types of uses, please let us know. Also, there's that homestead space, the residential homestead space, 130 acres. We didn't get any feedback about if folks want to see community uses or community agricultural uses or anything like that. And so if you folks have opinions on creating community use or community agricultural spaces as a part of that 130 acres or other types of community spaces in other places here in Kalawa, please let us know. Want to quickly go over the item on the legacy lands. This is Upper Pi'i Honua, just over 7,000 acres, previously captured in general agriculture under the 2002 island plan. It's that kind of outlined space right in the center, touching the purple stripe special district portion of the Humu'ula lands. So these are the humu'ula lands. The purple striping is special district. The teal hatch marking is pastoral homesteading. The blue is community use. Dark green is conservation. Light green is general agriculture. And there's about a 50-acre portion along Saddle Road and Mauna Kea Access Road that's identified for commercial. Okay, for the first round when we came out, it was mostly dark green for conservation and light green for pastoral homesteading. And then you can see 789 acres that's hatched. That's the existing pastoral homesteads that are leased out, 99-year homesteads. We got a lot of feedback on this one. So folks said they want more of the 2002 island plan and the Ainamana legacy plan to be better captured for the humu'ula lands. Now, that big section in the middle, 5,171 acres, that area is suitable for pastoral homesteading, but it's currently in special district because that's where the bulk of the gorse is located. There's a lot more work that needs to be done, remediation for the gorse that needs to be removed or better controlled, and folks said that even though it's suitable for pastoral homesteading, that it's not fair to give that out to homesteaders to have to deal with that issue. The light green, the rest of it is all pastoral homesteading. The dark green is all conservation. And then in the inset map, there's 665 acres. That's all on the Mauna Kea side of Saddle Road. That's captured in special district. The reason why it's in special district is if you look at aerial photos or if you're familiar with that area, that's all the lava flow. We heard from beneficiaries that it's not fair that the lava flow areas be captured in a homestead lot because that really limits their ability to use it. And so that area shouldn't be a part of the homesteading area. So we have carved it out and put it into special district. You can also see in the inset map that the hatched area is the existing pastoral homestead. There's two big orange spaces, the 1,343 acres, that's DHHL Koleana, and then 1,895 acres, that's also DHHL Koleana. We heard a lot of mana'o from folks that it's taking too long for homesteading. They want to have homesteading opportunities to just give us the land and put us on the land. And so we're trying to be responsive to that mana'o. If you folks have other mana'o, please share that with us in the comments. The 1,343 acre parcel, it is captured here as DHHL Koleana, but which use or which list that it pulls from, we still need more comments on that. Some folks talked about, putting some agricultural lots there. Some folks talked about pastoral lots. You can see that majority of that acreage is in the rain band, so we could carve it up strategically to ensure that every lot gets access to rainfall and therefore access to water. The 1,895 acre area is a really gentle slope. It's a good area for raising livestock. However, water infrastructure needs to be addressed. And so that would be the biggest challenge with pastoral use in that area. So we need to decide, is that going to be pastoral homesteading or which type of wait list is it going to pull from? Now I want to dive into those two little pieces. There's a 21 acre parcel in red and a 27 acre parcel in blue. It's supposed to be under community use, but I see that it's not tallying over there under the non-homestead uses, but that is supposed to be community use. Now, folks said that they like the idea of having that corner of Mauna Kea Access Road and the Ala Kupuna and Saddle Road to have some type of commercial development, that it's a good location for a gas station, convenience store, rest stop, those types of commercial uses, that it would be a good opportunity to capture that revenue, especially from all the visitors that are coming and going, and just from folks who have to commute over there, giving them an option for a rest stop and a convenience store. However, the feedback that they got is we don't want all of that going to the department to be managed by the department for commercial revenue. We want opportunities specific for beneficiaries. So the blue, the 27 acres, which is kind of the more prime spot right there on Ala Kupuna and the Saddle Road, right there at that corner, that is put in community use. What that means is it can be used for development like the development you see in Kapolei called Ho'omaka Marketplace. That is a parcel That's across from Kamakana Ali'i. There's Long's there. There's Chick-fil-A. There's Heli gas station, 7-Eleven. There's going to be more kind of a strip mall retail space that's developed over there as well. Now, that is commercial space that has commercial revenue, but that is given as a long-term land disposition to Kapolei Community Development Corporation, KCDC, which the board, the leadership for KCDC is all the leadership from the Kapolei Homestead Association. What that means is revenue generated from that commercial development from Ho'omaka Marketplace does not go to DHHL in the form of annual lease rent and straight into the trust funds. It goes to Kapolei Community Development Corporation, and they use it to fund their community programs, their beneficiary programs, as well as developing their community spaces. And so this is our way of trying to create a space where it's geared towards beneficiaries, and a beneficiary organization could come in and do that development, or beneficiaries could have opportunities to locate their business there. So that was kind of the response to the comments that we got. Next steps. We need your feedback again. So we've gone through all of these tract maps. You can hover your smartphone, your camera app over this QR code. It will take you to the website. Project website is going to explain the details of the comment period, and is also going to talk about how you can participate in the comment period. Your comments are critically needed. We want to hear what you have to say. Please let us know if you have edits or revisions. Mahalo.